You've got a team. You got to pick a sevens team, okay? But only 7 netball players.
Oh, thank goodness, I was about to say I'm out.
What if you were my captain?
No, I'm good.
You
thanks.
were my superstar.
Okay,
of the
I'm those
team.
type that if someone tackles, I was like, throw the ball in there.
Okay, no,
Cheers, mate.
No, you're out. I would have shouted at you.
You're our manager.
completely.
You're our manager. We are back where we're on the bench, but this is Off the Bench. Welcome to episode 5. I've got a guest next to me, but I've got someone even more special next to me. I'm Leila Arison, one of your hosts, and we have the one all the way from Sri Lanka. Sin Jazzy Jazz has made her way back.
I come back. Oh, man.
Guess where I am. Okay, but before I get to you, our very special guest, and that you can just see I'll call her my bestie. My bestie, my future potential sister-in-law. Let's see what happens. Marlize De Bruin, former rugby player, former netball player, Olympian. That is what she is. It's just who she is, and she's an incredible person on top of all of it. She's got a signature bun, and that's why she's here. Mari, welcome. It's so nice to have you on Off the Bench.
Hello, Leila. It's always nice seeing you. And sister-in-law, we don't know. Bestie, yes, we don't know.
Yes.
But
We
friend,
don't know.
yes.
She said we don't.
We don't know. We
Bestie
don't know what
either.
the future holds. But yes.
No, it's really lucky to have you here so much. Hello, Sri Lanka. Now I can officially welcome you. You played off the bench there in Sri Lanka.
The second game. Thanks, KB.
How is Sri Lanka? It's lucky to have you back.
Yeah, it was actually really nice. I think Colombo, it's gone. I want to go back.
Okay.
But now as a tourist, because we've got a lot of unfinished business. Cricket-wise, it was great in the scheme of things, especially with the World Cup year. But I think, yeah, it was pretty good. And I actually should say welcome back to you, because the last time you left me hanging,
Yeah,
and then
well,
you were there
left
in
me
Hong
hanging
Kong
the
without
previous
bags.
episode. Yeah, well, it's okay. We both had to fly this kite solo sometimes. But it's okay. We're back where we belong. Mari, we've got a way we start the show. The way we want to picture it is you're at home with your mates, you're chatting, and you've cheers the glass of champagne. We don't have champagne, we've got water, budget cuts. So what do you want to cheers to today?
I think we're going to cheers to life.
Okay,
Just
there we
in
go.
general, we're going to say life is good and it's always good. So life in general.
There we go. Let's go.
Okay,
Let's
cool.
cheers to life.
Cheers.
Eyes.
Cheers.
Thank you.
There we go. Okay. Marlize De Bruin. Tell us about Mara. Growing up, Pretoria, your life, when did that sport bug bite? We'll jump into your siblings and your parents and all of those things. But tell us about you and your life up until we'll get to the professional part.
I think I always loved sport. I was born and bred in Pretoria. My parents worked here. I went to school, primary school and high school. I think the sport bug was always. Since grade 1, I played mini netball. I think that you can't call that netball, but it was running around with a ball. I did all the sports in primary school, even cricket.
Hey.
Actually opening the batting there in primary school.
Okay,
till
hand-eye
grade
coordination.
7.
Something you've
But,
Hand-eye coordination.
I actually chose netball high school, but I was in Pretoria always, and since primary school, I did everything that was sport, playing outside, playing with my brother outside, with my mates in the street. So yes, since grade 1 or since I started school.
Affies girls, high. When did you make first team? Did you ever play second team? Or were you just good from like grade 8?
I never played second team. Actually, when I was in grade 8, I never wanted to play netball.
Okay.
And then the athletics part was nice. I played C team for a week, and then the teacher said to me, no, up to A team straight. And I said, I don't want to play netball, I want to do athletics.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was the only time I played C team. And I only made the first team in grade 11 because Affies was a school that said only grade 11s and 12 can play first team. So you needed to play in under 14A, 15A, 16A, and then you can play up first team.
What is so good that makes Affies such a good sporting school? And it's such a breeder school for a lot of the professional athletes we see. So, I mean, you were there years ago. But, like, what is so good about, what that school does, their sporting systems and their culture?
Tradition.
I
is
think
one of them.
tradition, yes, they've got a lot of tradition and they've got good coaches, but I think it's just habit that they create because you can't miss training, you can't show up late to training, you can't leave early to training, you can't give a 50%. So when I was there, and I think it's still the way, I haven't been there in a few years now, I actually need to go there with the school that I coach now next week Saturday
Hey, there we
because
go.
we're playing against them, so it will be the first time in a few years. But I think habit and consistency, they keep on doing the same things in and out, and they grow with the times, but they're not changing the basic things, and they're very good in doing the basic and the fundamentals.
Yeah, I want to jump on this. So we always speak about athletes that we love, like the discipline side and everything. Do you think if it wasn't for the structures and the tradition and just if you're not disciplined, you're not going to make it in Affies? I think that's a non-brainer. But did you think that helped you transitioning into TUKS, transitioning into the sevens scheme of things? Because like when I look at you, I'm like, listen, it's either this way or don't even show up. So
just a
it just
personality, bro.
it gives that.
Yeah, it's like Layla, it's my personality in that way. But I think, yes, Affies had a good part of my fundamentals. With my parents, like my dad played rugby, he did quite good sports. So it was either way, you do it or you don't do it. It's not a half a effort. But yes, Affies gave me that part, and going into TUKS, going into the netball professional part, going into the sevens. So I think if I wasn't in that school, maybe it could turn different. But yes, it's a good school and it gives you a good grounding foundation.
So let's jump into TUKS because you were probably the student that never left.
Fair. I remember my first year, she was there. Second year, she was there. Like you went through my whole varsity years. I remember this.
Did you love TUKS so much?
I did love TUKS and I did not like studying, but I did like playing netball.
Okay. And you've got a really good relationship with Coach Jenny van Dijk, our Protea head coach at the moment. Talk to us through your TUKS. I mean, you didn't want to play netball at school. You went to TUKS. You decided to play netball at TUKS, and then you stayed there. What is so
Furniture
special?
building.
She stayed. She just stayed, bro. She literally left the other day. What was so special about TUKS and wanting to play for the Stripe generation? Because I think there's a certain culture to play for TUKS, and when you play for TUKS, when you wear the white dress with the red stripe, there's just something special about it. What was special about your 20 years at TUKS?
20 years is a bit far-fetched now, but I think it was a good 7 or 8 years.
There we go.
I studied
yeah.
there. I think I played for Jennifer. We call her Jennifer. Quite a long time. I think it's her that set the culture, that set the standard there. Playing for the Stripe is quite special. Every time they play now, and every time I get there, it's getting a bit of emotions out of me. I think it's just you play for each other. You play your heart out. You're not going to go there and give a 1%, a 50%, or half an effort. And I think with Jennifer being the new Protea coach, that is what they do as well. Yeah. If you want to do it half, she will just leave you out. I think she's a person that gives, she works a lot. She's a person that's hard. There's not a lot of emotions in what she do, but she wants to get the work done and the job done. And I think that is what I got from her in my personality, in my sporting, in my coaching philosophy. So every time I go to TUKS, I get a bit emotional, and I will still always back them with my 20 years there. And I think I am part of the furniture there. So yeah, it's a good university. I will always back them. I always choose them. If I coach kids now, my first option is always go to TUKS. Please go.
Like, you know what,
TUKS.
on that, so we always speak about, like, you know how she's furniture. You know the pictures where they say, USA 2001.
Yeah.
They're all going to line up. But on that, you mentioned just loyalty. I think that's what I'm picking up from just the whole chat, the loyalty. Like, you've been in Pretoria all your life. You literally left them for about a couple of years and then you still came back. For you, when you look at just the way you grew up, around the family structure and everything, what for you can you take out on the way that you grew up? And then also, I think for you coming into TUKS, it wasn't that different because I have a hunch that you grew up in that sort of environment where it's either give it my all or nothing.
Yeah, my parents was like very supportive. My mom and dad worked hard to give me and my brother what we have. It was either you give it your all or we leave it. Like, I know holidays, my dad took us to the rugby field. He said, if you want to give a half an effort, we can play cricket or we play rugby in the garden. But we drove all the way, so train because you're here now. So my family is very loyal towards each other, towards what you commit to. So if you start something, you finish something, and you don't just back out. And I think for me, with the netball part, I played netball till I was 28, and then I switched to rugby. And I actually wanted to switch a few months earlier, but I was loyal towards netball. How do I leave netball? How do I leave the Jaguars team right away? And at a stage, for me, loyalty is big. Loyalty is big in sport. Loyalty is big in life. Loyalty is big in friendship. So loyalty is based on our family.
What made, because you were part of that group when TUKS won their first varsity cup title, and then you were part of the very successful Jaguars group that went back to back, that won everything, and that
Jeepers, you couldn't
made
get
me
past
very
that team.
angry. Like, you couldn't lose, and you were the linchpin. You were at the middle of, literally at the center of what it done. What made those glory years, so good? Like, what was it? The team? Was it the people? Was it the structures? Was it what you were building? Was it what you were playing for?
It is the people. I will say it's the people. It was hard work. It was crazy times. We at a stage hated Coach Jenny.
Yeah.
We hated each other, but at the end we backed each other because losing was. No one likes losing. And at a stage we said, listen, we're now tired of losing, tired of going all the way and then just don't get the reward. I've never partied that hard with, that first win. I think I only went home the next morning at 10, still in my netball dress with my medal, with the trophy.
Sounds about right.
I think it was the
Was
people.
that when you jumped into the pool in your dress?
Yes, that was the time.
Okay, this
I
does go
jumped in,
all the way back.
And then I tried to remove my strapping and then cut open my foot completely. But that was the good times. That was celebrating. And the best part I picked up 800 Rand, like folded.
Come on now.
In the parking area.
It was meant for you.
And we said, to who do we give this back now? Because there was like 1,000 people there. And I said, let's buy shots with the...
Who do we give it back to, the barman?
Back in the day, where did you go? Did you go to the square at the top?
No, we went to, I think it's Livingston's.
Yes, just up the road.
Yes, so we went there, but it was a big jewel. But I think it was the people. Like, I will go back to that team. I will pick all of them to go with me to war. And I am a firm believer in Coach Jenny. I back her all the way. We get along very well. I know she can be a strict person. She can be, she wants to win.
Yeah.
But she's a person that will get the best out of you every time. We had our fights. At a stage, I said to her, I don't want to play for you anymore. I'll take my stuff and play for any other team. But you go back because she knows how to win. She knows how to get you activated and to get you in a motion where you want to win. And then the people around you was like, it was a good team. It was people that wants to win. It's people that wants to work. And I think in any team, if the other 11 backs you, you can't go wrong with it. And eventually we said, listen, even if I need to play another position, we just want to win because we need to win. We're putting in all the work. We hated her at the stage. She said for us to be mentally tough, we will train at 12 in the afternoon in the middle of the summer.
And it's hot.
And it's hot on the netball court. It is tough. It is, your session goes like 2 hours, 2.5 hours. And at the end of the day, we made a joke and we said, even if it was not for the 12 o'clock sessions, we wouldn't have
made it.
Yeah. And I think that was a group of people that's very special. We moved into the Jaguars team, not all of us. At a stage, I captained the Jaguars, so it's culture. If you don't have culture, you can't have a team. I think that is important in every team. And we just sit around the table and said, pinpoint, put it down. This is what we stand for. If we don't get this, out of our team. And I think we weren't scared to let go of people. Big names. Yes, but we'll do it with the youngsters. And I was still a youngster at that time because I think when I started playing for the Jaguars, I was 21. Yeah. So I first played for the Fireballs for a year, and then I went to the Jaguars.
Question for the both of you guys, though. Do you think that, like, we're missing that kind of hard toughness in athletes these days, in children, in the new generation that we've got coming up. Because imagine trying to tell the 15, 16, 17, 18-year-old now, you're going to, in the middle of summer, go train at 12. I'm convinced that there's going to be a couple of complaints and you're probably the coach is going to get fired. Do you think that I don't want to say we're making them too soft, but do you think we're making them too soft these days?
No, I think, going back to your point and then I'll answer. I think when you enter team culture, I remember I was watching the varsity college thing in America.
Yeah.
The Final Four, and I remember UConn won it, and the coach literally came afterwards. It's like, this team fell in love with each other throughout the tournament.
Yeah.
And that's why we could see that chemistry on the field. And I think exactly what you said. We didn't like each other at the beginning, but towards the back end, you could literally go to someone who's like, damn, we fought. Because we had to go through that. And I remember like so many times us as athletes, us as supporters, we don't see the work being done behind the scenes.
Yeah.
So we don't see the players fighting. We don't see the ruffling of the feathers. We just see the final piece. And I know that we've got a new coach now. And on your question, Coach Mandla comes across as someone that's very firm, but also when you see him any other day, he's a teddy bear.
Yeah.
So he knows when to go hard and he knows when to back off and kind of let you dwell in that, but he'll never let you sink that deep. So I think with this generation, I will even include myself, we're so quick to say, cheers, I'm out, instead of literally just going through the processes. So I think it's just being patient, because a lot of times social media will burn your brain, because you'll see someone's success, but you won't see how they got there, because we don't put everything. So we will always see the final product. But if you actually go back, and if there was a hidden camera in what they did, you'd actually see the full scope of the picture. So I think the only thing now is to literally stop focusing on what other people are succeeding in and just focus on what you're doing.
We've got to go through this because it's so condensed. And Mara's got such an amazing story. It almost feels like we're running through her story a little bit. But you had this incredibly successful time. You were part of the the contracted Spa Pro. You were part of that wider squad that was able to play. Do you sit here and think, I wish I could have played a couple more minutes for my country in netball now? Because you did it for the rugby, and we'll jump into that. That's what all the pictures are about. But do you feel like there's unfinished business, or are you happy with where you left your netball journey?
Where I left my netball journey, I'm quite happy. They asked me actually to play netball again now after the rugby, but I said I'm happy where I left the netball journey. So I would just like to impact as many as possible young players. I would like to give them the experience that I have, the knowledge that I have. I've been coached by Coach Jenny van Dijk for 10 years. So I think she's the best coach in South Africa. She's got a netball brain. So for me to give back to the community, give back to the younger ones is where I'm now. So no, I won't put my... No, I won't play again. They've asked me a few times now and I said, no, I'm happy where I left it. The last one I played in was not a win. We lost in the final. Yeah. And everyone asked me, come back and play another one, end on a win. But you can never just say, listen, my career in netball needs to end on a win, because then sometimes you're going to play till you're 40. Yeah. But I think I've done everything. I gave it my all to netball. I was good for the sport. The sport was good for me. So I'm happy where I left it 2 years ago.
So let's run, because we said we're going to run.
Okay.
I remember we were also, when I was still playing rugby, and we were all sitting around the table once. Mara comes home after TNL training or whatever, and we kind of just went don't you want to come play rugby? Because you kind of
out of the blue,
it was really randomly. They've got a small little dining room table, and we were just sitting. We were like, don't you feel like just come to sevens? So we were playing TUKS sevens at the time, and we were like, just come to sevens, and she was kind of like, yeah, but no, And it then eventually took a little bit of a grind, and we eventually got it to come to TUKS 7. And then Mara came, and our coach he's still the coach at the TUKS 7's time. We were playing touchies beforehand, and we got the ball into space to Mara, and Mara took the ball and she just ran. That was all she knew what to do. She just had gas. She just ran, and you just saw Coach Rian go, whoa. Like, it was
Please
like,
come.
he was like, he like unveiled a gem. And then throughout that, like, we probably played for like 5 or 10 more minutes. He just went, get the ball to Mara. Get the ball to, like, she just got here, bro. Like, get the ball to Mara. And then, I mean, it took like 2 weeks and we'd gone to France France was our first
France
tour.
was the first
We
one.
went to France. We did the Over Lyon and Lyon Sevens. And we were the first group of women's players that played at the Melrose Sevens too. Mara was scoring tries aplenty. But she also had to make a tackle. So let's talk about that now.
Wait, you know what this reminds me of? We had Zintle here. She had to get tries for money. You literally just went, you know what, I got gas. I don't want to be tackled. I'm going. So I literally just thought of Zintle top of my head now.
100%. What was the scariest moment? Or what was that moment? Was it that touches where you caught the ball and we were all there? Because we had like a group of sevens there.
We had a group
We
of
really had a
people,
like
yeah.
and so like when did that rugby bug bite?
I think when you guys convinced me around the table, because I was still playing, it was TNL like in a month, I think.
Yeah.
I was captaining the Jaguars. I was center, the only center that I picked for that team. You guys convinced me and I went in my tackies.
She didn't have
Ooh, okay, you don't have
I
it.
didn't have boots at that time, and I'm like, no, I don't know if I like this. I'm not going to buy boots, and I'm not putting my feet in someone else's boots. So I said, I'll go in my tackies. I slipped actually the first ball, and the second one I went
second
through.
one she went.
It took a bit of convincing because, like I said, I was loyal. And how do I leave a team that I'm the captain of? How do I leave a team when the season is now in a month? So I played netball and sevens that first time. And after the first few trainings, I said to Izelka, I like this. It's nice for me. The environment is nice. The running part is nice. But I'm not convinced about how to tackle someone. I was a very physical netball player, so I got a few stitches. I broke my finger, a few things there, but never I thought about it to dip and tackle someone because it doesn't come naturally.
Netball players are scary, guys. I'm sorry. I can't.
But it's never that you need to dip and tackle someone's head like that.
You're just sticking them with your elbow every now and then.
So actually, I didn't tackle someone in the first 2 weeks. We trained at TUKS. Coach Rian said to me, do you have a passport? I said, of course. He's like, are you going with to France? I said, I'm playing netball.
Yeah.
So I convinced the netball people that I will go in the off time. I'll go there. I'll still be fit, everything. And then on tour, first game I never needed to tackle because I was always on the edge.
Yeah, so what happened was, so me and Ramandi then took her to the field with a tackle bag. And her and Ramandi went and ran shuttles. I didn't run.
Layla was sitting on the side.
I was coaching. I'd already moved on with my
So that's where the passion comes from. All right.
Sitting there,
You were like the test subject. You're the test subject.
And then she literally, and then her and Ramandi, we had to like teach her in that moment how to make hit and wrap and drive. And she was still doing this in her like purple and white Nikes. Like, still had
I didn't have boots till the day, 2 days before we went over. And I'm like, this is real now. I need to go and get boots now to play in.
Yeah.
Because I was not convinced. Maybe like after 2 weeks, it will go over. And then I bought boots, really cheap ones, before we went to France. And after France, I said, no, this is what I want to do. I even said to Coach Jenny, listen, I'm not going to play netball anymore. And she tried to convince me to stay at netball because that time she was not the Jaguars coach.
Okay.
She was not coaching any team. And then at a stage, I said to her, listen, X, Y, and Z is the opportunities. And she's like, no, Mara, go. Yeah. I'm like, in the netball, she's like, go.
Just go.
So I played TNL and then I moved straight to the netball. But in that TNL, I was doing both.
Yeah.
I went to France, netball training, came back. I went to training at TUKS, and the netball is always late at night, so I trained till 6:45. Then I jogged over to TUKS because we trained there.
Yeah, it's right across.
Because the coach, they said, I can't play rugby, I must play netball. So I said, I'll do both.
Yeah.
Till I'm done, till I made my decision, and my decision was rugby at the end of the day.
When did you get that call up for that green and gold? Because it wasn't long. You'd like been playing rugby for like 2 months.
Yes.
It was always written in the stars. I think.
Yeah. What was it like being able to now be able to put on the green and gold for a different sport?
I think it was always like the other day I was speaking at a school and I'm like, they asked me to speak out of my experience my perspective of sport. And I actually stood there and said, like, when I was a little girl, my dream was always to play in a big arena with a lot of people. And when I played the first World Cup in Cape Town, I realized maybe my dream was never netball. Because when I stood in the tunnel, it was against France. I was like, I don't know if I can do it. But when you jogged out, that was the vision that I always dreamed of. So it was not long. I played France. I played at Melrose Sevens, came back, and then Polly phoned me. Everyone was like, Polly is going to call you. I said, who is Polly? I don't know who Polly is. And then he phoned me. He's asking me, am I serious about this rugby thing? I said, listen, I am, but I am committed to the Jaguars. I can't just drop in the middle because I think that time we played 2 or 3 rounds.
Yeah, you were heading into like the last of the second round.
Yes, the Jaguars was always still is contenders for the final. So I said, listen, I can't drop out now because we only pick 4 shooters, 3 midcourts, 5 defenders. If I drop out, captain, I can't drop out. There's no sense.
Disappointing the team.
So I said to him, listen, I am serious about this, but my fault because I started 2 things at the same time. I will finish netball and then I'll move my focus to the rugby. And he said to me, but it's still a long time till World Cup, till games, that time. So he said, just keep on playing rugby. And I went home. I said, this was not random. He wasted like airtime phoning me. And then I went, it was 2 months. I went to Belgium with the TUKS team.
Yeah.
And before I got on the flight, they asked me, can I straight from Belgium go into Sevens camp for the games? And then I was in that squad, but my visa was not right. My passport was not right. And it was still TNL finals. So I said, it's fine for me missing the games. And then straight after that, I went to
Rugby World Cup in Cape Town.
Rugby World Cup.
And
crazy.
it was Rugby World Cup. You were part of the very select few that was then chosen to be, stay in Stellenbosch and go through that. And then I think the big one we have to speak about is Olympics. You walk around with a very cool necklace. You got the rings around your necklace. But Olympics happened, probably one of the biggest Olympics in terms of sevens rugby that we've seen. You had the Antoine Dupont, you had this whole kind of big hype around it. Talk to us a little bit about that Olympics experience, but then also making the decision this was going to be it. That was when I was going to be done.
Olympics is something you always, everyone I think dream about that, and it's not possible because all sports is not Olympic. Like for example, the netball players will always say they wish, but it's realistic. You will not make it now because it's not a sport now. It was a difficult decision to call it a day after that because there's still a lot of sport in me. My body will still allow it, but it was just a choice for me to set up a better future for me as a woman, for me to have a better life. So the Olympics was special. I went in by knowing it's my last one. All the big names was there. The crowd was amazing. That stadium, I think it's something that you want to play in, especially one of our games, I think there was like 72 or 73,000 people.
Day,
And you stand in that tunnel and you feel the people. You really feel it in your heart because it feels like it's bouncing. The people are singing. The crowd is loud. And I knew that one is going to be my last. And I'm happy with that because it was with the Olympics. It's something that's a dream, something that only once in a lifetime comes along. So it was great for me playing in the Olympics.
You've closed off your chapter. You've closed off, your playing chapter. How do you now? It's like life after sport, but how do you still kind of able to feed your competitive edge? Because I don't think you ever lose that competitive edge.
Now, I still struggle with that one because, I still have that competitive edge. So, for now, I'm just training, playing paddle against you. Still need to
Still losing.
Still need to beat you with that paddle one. But, you still miss that part. And I think that is if I need to think back about missing something, it's the competitive part. And the teammates that you see every time, or you're going to see them in a month or a week. But for me, it's nice giving back to the kids. It's nice coaching the kids, having little ones. I still sometimes play with the under 18s, the first team. So they like challenging me. So they always want me to get on court. That's a little bit like, if I need to say, 10% of the competitive part, because I won't let someone beat me, or I won't let someone run
Jeepers,
over
you're such
me.
an athlete. But like, you know what, on that, like, so you literally call time on playing at a very young age, considered like everyone is like, you must be mid-30s or stuff. So you like in your early 30s, hey queen. But, you know, you're so sure and so assertive. And like you said earlier, that you love to give back to the little ones. And obviously, is there anything that you would love now, looking on, you obviously giving back, you're coaching, you're setting up your life, but is there anything that you envision for yourself in that?
For me, it's like sport is something that carries a school. Sport is something that gives you character, and sport is something that you can give to any child, even if it's like someone that's the most athletic or someone that can barely catch a ball, because it's something that you can learn. So I think we in South Africa would love an academy for just sport, for someone to just go there and say, listen, I want a one-on-one session with Layla, developing soccer skills, developing netball skills. So I think that is something that I would love. And for me at school now, I coach netball the whole day. If I can coach rugby, that would be great. But for now,
We're gonna
like
go coach sevens.
yes, sevens sounds good. For now, it's like giving back to them, and hopefully netball academies, sporting academies develop. Like at school, the school that I work for, it's very nice. They're very driven, sport driven. So basically, we are busy coaching the whole day and giving people that platform. But I think if we can have an academy in South Africa, or in Pretoria, South Africa is very big, for just sport in general, you can just come and gym for women sports. So that is something that I would love one day.
One day.
One day.
One day when Sonolo Foundation helps us.
One day when you help
Yo, you guys
us,
are throwing shade.
when you help
One
us.
day when this Sonolo...
Netball, cricket.
There we go.
rugby,
We can do the whole
soccer.
thing.
You guys are throwing so much
It'd be so
shade.
good.
Oh my
Such a
gosh.
good time. Before we close off our episode.
Yeah.
Okay. Mari, I'm gonna give you a scenario. Okay. We've got about 5 minutes to do this. Okay.
Yes.
You've got a team. You've got to pick a sevens team. Okay. But only 7 netball players.
Oh, thank goodness, I was about to say I'm out.
What if you were my captain?
No, I'm good.
You
thanks.
were my superstar.
Okay,
of the
I'm those
team.
types that if someone tackles, I was like, throw the ball in there.
Okay,
Cheers, mate.
no, you're out. I would have shouted at you.
You're our manager.
completely.
You're our manager.
Thank you.
7 netball players. 7 netball players in your Star Sevens rugby team.
Ooh.
This is a hard one because there's a lot of heart. There's a lot of talent.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that I think can do it.
Trust your guts. Come on.
So
sevens prop?
must I go prop from?
We'll go sevens prop hooker. We'll go prop.
Okay,
hooker,
so-
prop, and then we'll do the backline.
Can I do a cricket one after this? Then I can compete. I got it.
Okay, so but
No,
then
no,
we
you
need to
start,
get
you
each
start.
other and play
Guys, I
against
said we've
each
got
other.
like 5 minutes. Think about it.
Okay, I got
Okay,
it.
so
Mari.
I would take as a prop. I need someone very tall. So my friend Ina Marie
Venter.
Venter, because she's tall, she can jump in the line out, and then strong.
Yeah.
Not the fastest, but we will make up with speed on the outside.
Yeah. We'll get to the backline. Hooker.
Hooker. Chinamdal.
I hear you.
Chinamdal.
Chino works. Yeah.
Oh, I see it.
Other prop, I will take Izet Libbe.
Okay, Zed. Yeah. Okay. 10. Who's your flyer?
10. What about 9?
Oh yeah, sweeper. Sorry. Yeah.
9. Did I put in Chinamdal already?
Chino, you got Chino and hooker.
I'll take Lungile Mthembu.
Okay. Rambo.
I'll take Rambo, yes. Then at 10, must I involve myself in this team?
Yeah, you can play if
or-
you want.
Go for it.
Yeah. Back yourself.
Okay, I'll back myself at wing.
Back yourself.
At wing.
At wing. Okay, you got fly and centre left.
Okay, now I have to think of a winger.
I need to take Shadeen. She actually wanted to
Centre.
play with
Shadeen wanted to play.
me. She actually wanted to go first to rugby, and then she became a Protea, and I'm still convincing her to
She can
go
come back.
there. Yeah.
We can do it.
So Shadeen and
Centre.
then centre.
No, wasn't Shadeen on centre?
Okay, I'll take Shadeen on centre. Then I must say, I'll take, it was one of my biggest enemies on court, but I'll take Sneh from Koffsies.
Yes.
We battled it out always. We hated each other. We loved each other. We call each other family. But the moment the whistle go, we will kill each other. And it was war. So I'll take her because she actually came to 7. She was a good player.
Yeah.
But I think she's got heart. She's got the passion. She's got the work ethic. So I will take her.
Okay,
That.
go.
Okay,
7 quickly.
So it has to be tall. I'll go Anna Dirksen.
Okay.
Then I'll go Nades,
Yeah.
Pitbull. Then I'll go. Who's this one?
The other prop.
Must they be tall too?
Doesn't have to be tall.
Um.
You just need a line. You just need a line out jumper.
So Dirkie's the one that's jumping.
Okay.
So then I've got Nades in front. Then I've got Chloe also.
Copy.
Yeah.
Okay, Scrummy.
Scrummy. Hi, me. I trust myself. Winger, we need gas, right?
Yeah.
Ooh. Nondu's pretty quick. Wolfie's pretty quick, but
I'd put Wolfie at 10.
no. I'm swapping.
don't
I'm
involve
going
me.
back.
Wolfie's clever,
I'm going back.
so
I'm
she
going
can play
back.
10.
My other prop is Taz. So we
Okay.
got Durkee, Taz, and Nades.
Okay.
Then sweepers myself. Then 10, I will back Vol.
Yeah. I also put Wolfie at 10. Yeah.
Strong
Center,
runner.
Chloe. Chloe, that's why I changed, girl. I got you.
Okay. And then, and you've got a wing.
And another.
No, you've got,
wing.
you already
Put
got a wing.
yourself on a
That's your
wing.
back.
No,
Only
I'm
one.
sweeper.
No, but you put a wing in.
But you put a wing already.
Who's my wing?
You see.
Oh, actually, no, I lie. You didn't put a
No,
wing.
Wolfie was my 10.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
Okay, go.
And then my other one, Shangi, Nondumiso.
Ah. Done.
Okay.
Okay,
We
well,
can
girls,
get that
I
name.
back
We'll
you.
get that
Okay, we'll post-production will put that up and we'll go which team is going to win. Guys,
I'm sorry, girls.
episode 5 has actually just been a joke because I've actually just involved all the jokers. But it's so lekker to have my partner in crime back. And it's so nice. Maar ek gaan sommer vir jou in Afrikaans dankie sê. Dankie dat jy gekom het. Ek waardeer dit so baie en baie dankie dat jy hier saam met ons nonsens gepraat het. We appreciate it so much.
Ek het-
Afrikaans daar so Leila, jy kan nou iets in Afrikaans sê.
Ek is baie lief vir jou,
Dis
Susa.
altyd 'n
Ek is
plesier.
baie lief vir jou.
Jy is alles in my lewe, hoor. Baie dankie.
Dankie sis.
Ons waardeer dit.
Episode 5 off the bench. That is what we do. This is how we do it. If you like what you see, also, if you have a name of someone you would like to see, comment down below, like, subscribe, all of those lack of things, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.